That's called improvised ear pro. 38 special brass right there. Fits perfectly in your eardrum. All right, folks, it's very frustrating to me. And by the way, 4 weeks out from surgery, still got a bitchin' scar right here. Looking good, feeling good. Not quite up to 100% fighting shape, but we're getting there. So it's very frustrating to me when I watch folks on YouTube run a revolver, okay? It's like a clusterfuck. People are trying to reload the gun. They, don't use gravity. They use this extractor rod and they just work the plunger, and all of a sudden you've got casings. Some people don't even use the extractor rod. They do this shaky motion shit. Or they just work this over and over again until, everything eventually falls out. That's a great way to get a brass case stuck behind the extractor rod, okay? These techniques that are taught are what police were taught back in the day, and they work. And if you use them correctly, the revolver is very quick and easy to reload under stress. Two techniques that I use the most is the Masad Ayub stress fire technique and the FBI technique. Very quickly, the stress fire technique, all right, you're done firing, you bring that shit back into your workspace or down at your belt, whatever you prefer. You open the cylinder. Okay, at this point your hands come together. Your weak hand is going to come through the frame of the gun, and your thumb, your index finger, and your middle finger are going to grip and grasp the cylinder. All right, at this point, think gravity. Gravity is your friend. At this point, the barrel's pointed down. Now we're simply going to point the barrel directly to the sky. Okay, now, all right, these are live rounds, so they fall out freely. Now we've got the barrel to the sky. We have our ejector rod here. We're simply going to open up our palm and we're going to strike it one time. Boom, everything comes out. We're not going to fuck with it. We're not going to do it many times. We're just going to do it one good firm time, straight up and down. Boom, all the casings come out. Then gravity's our friend again. Barrel down to the ground as we reach for our speed loader. All right, speed loader is grasped with fingers ahead of bullet noses. Okay, and with that, I can feel where they need to go. They drop into place. Now, this is where it really gets frustrating to watch, because people, they do this speed loader, they activate it, and then they do this extra motion of plucking the empty speed loader out. Like we really care what happens to that empty speed loader. We're going to grasp this cylinder, cannot move, otherwise there's going to be a circle jerk as we're trying to activate this knob with an HKS. So it has to be firm. The cylinder cannot be freewheeling here. All right, we activate the knob, okay, and then we let that thing drop to the ground. Boom, it's done. And then we're back in action. That is the Masad Ayub stress fire technique, okay? And if you do it the correct way, it's a very quick and easy way to get your gun back into action. And I've done videos on this before, but I see people just over and over again not practicing these techniques, and I'm like, hey man, think about it. Gravity. Use gravity. Same thing with an FBI technique, okay? FBI technique, boom, boom, boom. We open it up. Same thing. We transfer the gun to our weak hand, grasp it with our thumb index finger on the cylinder. All right, except this time, we're going to be doing two actions at once. I'm going to be using my thumb to depress this, still using gravity. Out here, I use my thumb, eject those casings, as this hand is reaching for the speed loader, so I can do two things at once here. All right, boom, eject. I like to flick it all the way down, boom. You can actually move the gun with it also. Boom, all the casings come out. This hand's reaching for the speed loader, same thing. Fingers ahead of bullet noses, activate that knob, let that thing drop, and you're good. All right, so let's do it live and see what it looks like. FBI instruction. All right, model 66, we're gonna demonstrate the FBI technique first on steel. Here we go. Put in my improvised ear pro. Try and get this in a position where you can best see how this technique is done. Here we go. Stop. All right, pretty quick, pretty easy, not too bad. Now we'll do the stress fire technique. All right, now we'll do the stress fire technique with the 686 Plus, which I put some beautiful wood grips on. Feels really good in the hand. And these are for square butt guns, so there's a little bit of a gap there, but man, they feel good, they look good. Okay, stress fire technique. Pay attention here. Notice how we use gravity. Extractor rod gravity. Here we go. And that's it. Now it may seem like there's a little bit of tension or friction when I was reloading this gun. It's because this is a 7-shot revolver, so these speed loaders with this particular old school wood grip, it's extra tight. So it takes a little bit of time to get that extra that speed loader out, but otherwise it's a great gun, and it does reload pretty quickly with 38 specials as opposed to 357 Magnums, the extra long casing there. Just a little bit tight. But the only other way that we reload these guns is with keeping the gun in your strong hand or your firing hand the entire time. That method doesn't really have a particular name. I just call it the strong hand technique, and I'd be willing to demonstrate that to you now. If I have any extra rounds on me, it doesn't look like I do. But that reload goes something like this. Boom, 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 I'm done firing. Okay, I open it up and I keep the gun in my firing hand. Gravity's still my friend. In my workspace, I simply use my weak hand to palm strike the ejector rod. And now my weak hand is going for that reload. All right. Put it in. I use my weak hand to reload that gun, and that way my firing hand stays on the gun and it is ready to go in that manner. Okay, and then finally the fourth way is your one-handed reload techniques, which I demonstrated in another video. It's a lot easier with a full-length barrel, 4-inch service length as I call it, to execute a one-handed speed reload with one of these guns. But in an emergency, the way you would do that is boom, 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 done firing. Okay, in this case, you've got to open the cylinder one-handed. All right, you use whatever fingers you can and the gravity you can and the motion you can to eject those casings with the ejector rod, and you simply put that barrel inside of your belt with the cylinder outside of the belt. Reach for that fresh source, index, line it up with head up, eyes up as quickly as you can. All right, once you got that gun loaded up, all right, simply come out, swing out the cylinder into place, and you're back in action. Those are the techniques. All right, but if I had to put it in an acronym, folks, it would be something like GEG: gravity, gravity, ejector rod, gravity again. If you can master these little micro fine motor skills of making sure you put your fingers ahead of bullet noses, remember to use gravity both ways, one good solid slap on the ejector rod, making sure that we are going straight up and down with it, boom, like this, not at an angle so we don't bend it. You're going to be so quick with your reloads, man. You're going to be faster than semi-automatic shooters. Okay, and that's the way I was when I went to gun sight, when I did PPSB for North Carolina. I was faster on the reloads than not everybody. You know, some semi-automatic shooters are pretty damn quick, but I take pride in that because a lot of people say the biggest the downside to a wheel gun is not only capacity, but it's slower to reload. Not true if you know what you're doing. So as I'm getting bit up here, I'm gonna sign off. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you got any requests for anything else, please hit me up, and I'll do my best to make it happen. All right, Semper Fi, and have a good day.